And welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you're watching the Arthritis Show, a global information source dedicated to patients with arthritis and sports injuries. So joining us exclusively in our studio is Dr. Sherwood Swartz. Hi, Doc.
Hi, pleasure.
Welcome.
Thank you for inviting me to the show.
Perfect. Thank you for coming. Now, tell us, you have a unique practice. Tell us about that.
Well, I've been practicing Chinese medicine for quite a few years, about 20 years in Miami. Before that, I did a lot of Qigong, like Tai Chi. It's sort of the parent. It's the parent of Qigong, is the parent of Tai Chi. And what it does is it actually moves the energy in the body. When you're doing acupuncture or when you're doing medical Qigong, I work with a lot of medical Qigong, where I'm actually pulling the energy off the body. We're working more than just the physical body. We're working your physical, your meridians and the chakras, and then your spiritual body. So there's actually 3 bodies going on. So if there's an imbalance in the body, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, you're going to have some form of dis-ease. Not really a disease, but a dis-ease of body. And when you talk about arthritis, of course, you know, as you get older, people get in their joints, they get some form of dis-ease. Things hurt, you know, fingers and knees and, you know, neck. I see it every day in the office. So sometimes I'll work with the needles, touching certain acupuncture points to open the energy, and other times a person, they need a more subtle energy where you're actually working with the etheric body and the energy body to open that up. Once you free that energy in the body, the person feels much better. They don't have the same emotional content, and the emotional content and the spiritual content really affects the physical.
Absolutely.
So I play with that a lot and work with that. When I was in China, I introduced, everybody was a doctor. So I said, oh, I'll be casual. My nickname's Woody. So I introduced myself as Woody. So they say, oh, Dr. Wu Di. So I go under the name and I write under the name of Dr. Wu, W-U-D-H-I, Dr. Wu Di, which means one with no enemies. So
that's in Chinese.
That's in Chinese, yeah. So I see patients every day. They come into my office with a multitude of problems. Some of them are emotional problems, but if the emotional problems last long enough, they definitely go into physical problems. And that's where you come in with, you know, the arthritic problems.
Now, I wanted to take a moment and for audience out there, explain what is Qigong. What does it mean? What does the Qi, what does Qi mean?
Qi is energy. So you're looking at energy work. So in our bodies, we have like a field around us. Like if you're walking and I come up behind you, I don't even have to touch you. You're going to start to feel something behind you. If somebody's walking behind you, you know how you're looking to see who's there? Well, it's affecting your energy, your auric field around you.
And now we have your video up there. You are treating a patient right now. Can you tell us about this video?
I'm doing medical Qigong on this lady. Her name is Anastasia, and she came into the office, and she had an emotional upset with her mother.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is I'm just working on her energy field and trying to free up that energy. So it looks like I'm just moving my hands, but when you practice Qigong a lot, what happens is you actually move the energy and you start to open these different meridians or chakras in your hands, and you get energy. You see the wizards in cartoons where they're throwing out lightning bolts? There's actually energy that comes out from the center of your palm.
And this is the energy that, do you feel this energy as it comes out? Or?
I can feel the energy with my hands, and I'll either feel it when I'm tracing someone and put an acupuncture needle in, or I'll feel that energetic field when I'm running through the person's body and say, oh, there's an imbalance there, and start to work on opening that imbalance. Sometimes it's touching the person, and sometimes it's not even touching them physically. It's amazing. I get results on it
Do you see the results immediately, or they need a few treatments? Or
Well, the other day, I worked on a lady, and she was having some emotional problems. Somebody in her family just passed away. So I worked on her. I didn't expect anything to happen. She got the dry heaves. So I have an associate of mine. He's a great, big, strong Russian guy. He's got all these muscles. So he said, oh, work on me because I want you to free up the energy. So I figured this guy is really strong. So I opened up all the energy, and it was too much for him. Other times, it depends how open you are. If you're closed up and you start to work on people, of course, you have more of an emotional response. If you're pretty open, the energy just flows through. It depends on the person. The idea is, how do you free up the energy? Sometimes you'll do medicine or you'll do surgery, but if you're doing medicine or surgery, you're being really, you're hitting it with a hammer, but it needs to be done. Other times the energy is so subtle that something like acupuncture, energy medicine, needs to be done so you can soothe that out, and then the person, as you know, physical therapy is important, exercise are important. I do these exercises just for my hands, like a Chinese fan. And this keeps my fingers flexible just by doing this.
You're stretching them.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm stretching them. Sometimes I'll pull them back. Sometimes I'll push them forward, going around the wrist joints to open this up, going, just moving my body. It's interesting that the human body is different than a car. If you have a car and you use it all the time, what happens? It breaks. If you have the human body and you don't use it, it breaks. So you really need some exercise. So not only do I do the Qigong where I'm actually working with a person, I actually do the exercises to build my own energetic field. If I can get my energy going, the Qi moves, right?
Right.
What follows Qi is blood. So if I can get the blood moving where the blood needs to be, there's no pain. So that's what they mean. You work the Qigong, and it works the energy field, which works more blood in the system. More blood in the system, you feel younger.
Well, I tell my patients who inquire about this, and some of these people are skeptic, of course. I tell them that, look, 3,000 years of Chinese medicine couldn't possibly be wrong. So I really advocate that. I believe in Qigong, Tai Chi. In fact, there was a point that we would take our patients, would do it on the ocean here, on the beach side, and we had hundreds of people standing behind us, and we all follow the Tai Chi movements, and it looked like an old Bruce Lee movie.
Oh, great.
So it was great, and we still do that sometimes. Now, you're wearing I got to notice your bracelet. Is that a special? Is that a jade or?
Oh,
it's
a stone called Yemingju. It comes out of China. If you put it in the dark, it glows, and it seems to radiate energy, and it also keeps off. Sometimes if I'm working for the whole day and I see a lot of people, and you've got this problem, you've got this problem. Well, as a doctor, you start to, you take it on, all that stuff.
Sure.
So I use the bracelet, I do exercises, I do things to clear myself. If I want to stay young, I have to practice what I preach.
Of course.
You can't, I can't be eating junk food and telling you should eat salads. I can't be laying on the couch and watching television and telling you should exercise. So I do what I say, and I say what I do. I believe that the mind is funny. If you say something that you're going to do and you do it, then you become congruent and your own integrity works. If you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, it's a break in your own integrity, and then your body suffers.
And that is the energy you can find while you're examining people, that kind of bad
I
energy?
do a traditional where I'm doing the Chinese pulse, where I'm actually holding on to the hand and feeling the pulse. I take a tongue diagnosis. Sometimes I'll do applied kinesiology, muscle testing, blood work. I mean, it's all incorporated.
Now, Rowan Garcia, you had a question for Doctor?
Doctor, this energy of the body, where does it come from? Is it an organic energy that comes from within the person's body, or is it an energy that the body retrieves from the environment? Or is it a combination?
It's definitely a combination. If you're in a city and there's a lot of stress, you know how you sort of contract. If you're out in the mountains and looking at the ocean, you know how you open up your heart and you look around, you go, wow, it's beautiful out, right? So you open up, and energy, depending where you are or how you handle it, some people, you know, stress hits them and they're exhausted, and other people feed on that stress. The energy comes in and then, you know, they like that energy. Like you were talking about someone playing sports. Well, if you're running and playing sports, you know, you get charged up. Somebody hits you, you know, it disrupts your energy. So the energy is both taken from the environment and it's self-generated. But you have to be, you know, you have to be in the right place, you have to be in the right mood. A lot of it is your self-talk. If I say it's a great day, it is. If I say it's a bad day, it's
Absolutely.
a bad day. You know, so a lot of it's your self-talk, and then of course there's certain movements that open the energy, foods that keep the energy. If you look at your food, it's fuel. You know, I mean, you know, if I'm eating, yeah, and I'm taking it in and I'm using it as fuel and boom, moving, I'm feeling good. You know, if I get a diet of ice cream and you know,
Of course.
yeah, you know, it's gonna cause some
It's
problems.
mind or body.
Right.
Well, I wanted to thank you again for joining us, Dr. Swartz.
I really appreciate it. It was
We'd
a
love to
pleasure
have you back
meet
again.
you and spend some time with both of you.
Okay, we're going to take a break at this point. When we come back, Dr. Sandro Dumont is going to be joining us. Dr. Sandro Dumont is a chiropractic physician as well as a yoga instructor.